Yesterday, I quoted Stephen A. Smith about brothers being killed in inner cities, but you read only a selected excerpts. Wow, didn't expect that from you. Well, perhaps here's a very short HuffPost video. If you click it, you can't pull that. Well, I'm not going to click a video in the middle of it either. Let me go back up to your Black lives should have been mattering the whole time when brothers are being killed every day by blacks. I don't give a shit what Stephen A. Smith says, honestly.
What does that have to do with us?
Because a black guy said something? That it necessarily, well, why don't you quote to me Ben Carson? I'm sure Howard Cain has a problem with it too. Herman Cain.
And Howard Cain.
Both the
That's
Cains.
right.
His brother, Howard. Who cares what Stephen Smith said?
Where is Howard Cain when you need him?
Is it really that hard to see the difference? I have no doubt that black people living in urban areas where there is a high density of crime fear the potential of getting killed by another black person. But white people in that situation would at least feel like I'm not going to get shot by the cops. And if you don't live in a high crime area, but you're still an African American, and let's say you're driving to your job, you can still get pulled over and end up dead in a jail cell. So it's irrelevant. The point is that black people should not have to walk around being afraid of the institution that is set up in society to protect you. That's the point. So good for Stephen Smith. Good for him. G-Beard, comrades, your take on the supposed BLM reps hijacking the Sanders event is astonishing and so entirely off base. This is the first time I've seriously disagreed with your take in a dozen years. They took over a rally, called their champion, the intended speaker, and the crowd all racist, and caused the event to be canceled. That is not a good thing. Suggesting as you did that anything good sorry.
Why would you call him their...
Listen to Malloy's. Go listen to, you should listen to the interview with the woman, one of the women who did it.
Why would you call him their champion, though? I mean, I think that's part of the problem with this conversation. I mean, I agree. I think he has a great record on civil rights issues. I think, unlike some of his supporters, is actually very genuinely interested in hearing what Black Lives Matter activists have to say. But he's not, I mean... It's not even about having an individual champion, but that's just be aware of the framing of that. Like, shut up and let a senator be your champion, or he is your champion. That's not, that's not the way change happens on any number of issues. Even on something like, take debt-free college, which is completely non-controversial in this audience. We've established how that came out of a context of organizing and policy positioning. And no one was the champion of that, even a guy as great as Bernie Sanders. And he's embracing it. And it's helping him as we've...
Play the audio.
Yeah.
Play the audio. This is him in L.A. After being interrupted. How do you justify, if your belief is that this was not an effective protest by them, how do you justify Bernie Sanders saying this?
And let me begin by reiterating a point that Simone and others have made. And that is, there is no president, none, 1 year after the death of Michael Brown, no president who will fight harder to end institutional racism than I will.
Now, the Simone he's referring to is his new communications director, Simone Sanders, I believe is her name, no relation, as far as I know, who was a member of, or self-professed member of the Black Lives Movement. And the others he was talking about were other leaders of the Black Lives Movement who spoke before he did at their next rally in LA. Now, You tell me it's not effective. How is it that is in Bernie Sanders' speech? And you can say, well, Bernie's intimidated by what? Excuse me, what? Well, I'm just saying, like, there's no way to explain it. You cannot hold the opinion that it's not effective and then tell me 2 nights later, Bernie Sanders says that at a rally of 27,000 people. They have moved their issue in the forefront to no detriment of anyone in the sound of my voice, and to the benefit, I would suggest, to the candidate, Bernie Sanders, who needs to win South Carolina. So I don't need to listen to Stephen Smith. With all due respect, I don't listen to Mike Malloy about it. I'm happy to engage in a debate about it if someone can explain this to me. Call in 646-257-3920. I would be happy to hear how someone can explain to me why Bernie Sanders is saying that. Because if it's going to turn Bernie Sanders off, right? If it's not going to help get the message out, then why is Bernie Sanders saying that?